I believe you are playing White Fox incorrectly. Incorrectly. Now, this is my personal anecdote from my time spent playing her. I have actually played a decent amount of White Fox so far. By the time of recording this video, of course it'll be out a little bit later, but I have around 10 hours on her at captain. So I know there's a lot of people who have a lot more hours, but that's what I have so far. And I haven't actually been winning a lot with her because I'm still learning how to actually play her. And I think I've kind of stumbled upon something a little bit more interesting along the lines of how you should play her. And in the background, you'll see some games. Again, I'm not playing perfectly because I'm still learning. And in a lot of those games, of course, I'm still learning. So I might be like testing different like styles and stuff. But don't worry about that. We're just going to talk about what I learned. So what I learned is you don't play it. She's not a support, like not even close. I mean, kind of close. I mean, she kind of is, but like not really. Or not really, but kind of is. Anyway, you know, she's kind of a support a little bit. Like she heals and stuff. But her heals are kind of garbage doo-doo though. Sorry, I'm on one. Yeah, they're not good, man. They doggy doo-doo. They're not really good. Now, it's not like they're like horrible. It's just like she just doesn't do enough compared to some other healers. Now, you can maximize and do as much as another healer, but you have to play in a specific way to do that. And that's what I've realized. But you can't, the only way to get to that point where you're doing as much healing, because a lot of my games, I will have as much damage as my damage dealers. I will have a decent amount of tanked, like damage taken and tanked. Though I don't know if I don't know if the spectral surge counts for that, but either way, I'll also have pretty much on par with the healer, how much healing, like we'll have around the same healing. So you get to kind of do it on all fronts. And you have to stop playing her like a traditional healer. Someone like, you know, Invisible Woman, or I don't know, Luna, Loki, Rocket, Jeff. Most of the main supports are gonna play sort of in the back. Even let's be honest, even Gambit's gonna sort of play in the back. I mean, he'll do damage if he's good, but even he's gonna be like semi-heal button at times. And you'll be doing that, yeah, but you're gonna be doing less of that because if you heal bot, you're gonna just not do as much healing as the rest of them, right? It's just that simple. You just don't do enough if you're just sitting there heal botting. You just don't do enough. But if you're doing damage to the enemy, you're gonna be doing a lot more. Her main attack, you have to hit it directly on them to get the max out of it, right? You have to actually hit them like directly. Same for damage. So when you're healing, especially, you want to be able to hit it. Now, I've tried different ways of dealing or trying to do it. First, I said, okay, let me just shoot at their feet. And a lot of times it ended up just bouncing because they move, right? It's different on the bots, right? In the actual game, they move. So when you're shooting at the ground, a lot of the time, you're just going to miss them. You're just going to miss them. So I was like, oh, let me shoot. I was saying, like, let me shoot at their feet, right? Like, let's just shoot at their feet. And like I said, shooting at their feet doesn't always work because they move around a lot. Okay, then you're like, all right, let me just, I don't know. I'll just shoot directly at them. But you're sniping them. You're trying to snipe them and you have a projectile that, like, it's not the best, you know? It's not like your hit scan or anything. And you need to make sure you hit your shots, right? So it makes it a little harder. And it's not like Invis where it goes and comes back. So it ends up being very difficult. Okay, well, what else do you have? What I've realized is you need to, because of how our kit is designed, you need to be very close. You're a brawler, meaning you need to be one of the tanks. That's the style I have adopted. And it doesn't always do well, but that's a lot of the time I am acing my team, or I have more damage, more healing, and more tanked than some of my tanks. I know it's wild. I would have more stats than them in my whole team. Like I'm doing every single job in the whole team because you need to be diving with your divers. You like literally go dive and go kill something. If you don't have enough kills as this character, you're playing it wrong. If you're not getting kills, you're playing it wrong. You should be getting kills. That's natural when you're playing her because she's basically a DPS. Well, I would consider her more similar to a Vanguard, but either way, you need to be standing right behind them, like genuinely. You need to be like, if you look at where Sue is supposed to stand, she's kind of supposed to be a little, kind of behind them, but like not too close because she can just get blown up. When you're playing with White Fox, of course, you don't need to be like right on top of them, but a lot of times you can be, but you want to be very, very, very close. Kind of like as though you're playing, well, Sue Storm. It's the same exact thing. It's the exact same thing, but you're actually trying to play a little closer than that, as close as you possibly can without being killed. So if you have to back up, you have to back up. That's just how it goes. But when you play close, you don't have to worry about aiming at their feet. You don't have to be worrying about, oh, like I have to shoot at them and it's going to miss them. You're right on top of them. So there's no travel time. You don't have to, you know, it's basically like hit scan because you're very, like right behind them pretty much. You can just aim right at them and heal them because you're so close. And a lot of the time when you shoot, like, because you have really low range, you'll shoot from like a certain place and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to hit the wall, and you don't even hit the wall, right? You think you're going to hit the wall and you don't, or you hit the wall, but like it's not close enough to a person so it doesn't bounce to them. It's so weird. Or you throw it at the ground, but it's not close enough so it doesn't bounce to them. It's weird. So like, if you're not near anyone, or if someone's really fast, or you're not near someone where you can shoot directly at them, just shoot at the ground. Genuinely, just shoot at the ground. Like, you'd rather just shoot at the ground, because aiming directly at them when you're so far away from them is a waste of time. If you're far away from them, there's no reason to just shoot their direction, unless you're literally you're perfect, which you're not going to be perfect aim 100% accuracy at all times. So 90% of the time it's better just to shoot at the ground. And that's if you're far away from them, right? Meaning you're shooting next to them as close as possible. Do not get me wrong. You're shooting close to them. You're trying to actually hit them, but you're shooting, you could say, at their feet, but close to the ground. And a lot of times you actually will just legitimately, you'll see in some of my gameplay, I will legitimately just throw it at the ground or throw it at the wall, because you just need to hit something, and sometimes you just don't have the range, or you can't get close or whatever. So that often happens. So my thing that I would say is, first off, is be close to your tanks. Be close to them. Be right behind them, bro. Be right on top of them. Maybe not that close, but you know what I mean. Like, just be close to your tanks. Get up to them. You are a brawler. And what that also means is, if there's like an enemy thing, or the scariest one is going to be something like Strange, because Strange can just burst you so quick. So if there is an enemy Strange, be very careful being close to too close to your tanks, because he will burst you super quick. But of course, when you're close, like the idea, right, is whenever you have your cooldown for your Fox form, be very, very, very close to your tanks, because when you're close to your tanks and you have your Fox form up, you can sort of just use it if someone ever comes on to you, right? If they ever come on to you, use your form. Like, use it, bro. Like, just use it and then go crazy, because you want to be close and you want to be able to get out, because you use your teleport to get out, right? You don't want to use it to get in, because it has a 12-second cooldown. So how are you going to get in? You don't have a dash, other than if you're in your Fox form. So you need to be close, and that's the only way you're going to get it. So if you're close and there's tons of people there, all you have to do is pop it and just start slashing. You're healing everyone around you. Like, it's immediate. And use your Fox for the max duration. You might as well, as long as you're around people, of course, because you might as well. You might as well. Of course, there are specific situations where you would want to just get out of it, right? If you need to finish off a target, or you need to heal someone up real quick. But you know what I mean. Stay in it as long as possible. It lasts longer than you think it does. Like, the top, at like max stacks, you get 9 seconds, which is longer than a lot of ultimates. I mean, that might be as long as like Punisher ult. I don't know, but like, it'll be like at 1 second, and it'll have like, it has this weird thing where it'll get to 1 second and it'll be like, oh, it's gonna end, and you think it's gonna end, but it just keeps going. You're like, wait, I'm still in Fox form. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Like, you just keep having Fox form. So use it as much as you can. Of course, you're gonna use your special surge, you know, of course, that's going to be very good. Especially, you know, a lot of people think, okay, well, for that ability, you want to have the max amount of people on your team to like save or whatever. There's going to be people in front of you. Like, you're not always going to be right behind the tanks, right? Like, directly behind them. A lot of times you're just going to be like pretty close to them, but not directly right on top of them. That's never what I'm saying, is to always be right. Like, whenever you're right on top of them, that's when you're trying to go in. You're trying to go crazy. But for the most part, you're going to be, well, pretty close to them, right? Which means you're not going to be like right on top of them. You maybe be like, I don't know, like 10 meters away or something, 5 meter, 10 meters, something like that. And there's probably someone in front of you. When you're using your Spectral Surge, you will hit, first of all, you can always just back up, right, a little bit, and then you use it, right? That's perfectly fine. But you don't need to try to hit everybody. That's the main thing I was going to say. You don't have to try to hit everybody with it. In fact, hitting the enemy team is really good for the most part, because it charms them. That's a little bit better, actually, in the long run than the invincibility, because the invincibility is like, it's all right, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not that crazy. It is pretty good, though. It'll help you over time, but the charm is really good. Like, when you use it a lot of the time, I've got so many kills just from charm, and it stuns them for a split second where my team just kills them. So the charm is really good. So like, don't worry about, oh, you know, I need to get the max amount of people in my thing. Don't even worry about it. Or, oh, I need to heal people behind me. What if my DPS like is a sniper behind me? First of all, you have another support, and standing in front of your other support helps you get heals, because you already don't have your own best self heal. You have really bad self-heal. So because of that, you're standing in front of your healer, which is good, which means you're keeping that in mind. You're dealing more damage because you're standing in a place where you can deal more damage, which again, you want to deal damage as this character. I've been saying that. It's easier for you to get into your fox mode and go crazy, which is again, what you always want to do. And I'll explain that in a second. But the thing is, when you're standing behind, you think that, okay, well, I'm not going to heal anyone, right? But like, go into the practice range right now. Go up to a bot, right? Go up to like the bots that are shooting at each other and shoot the bot on the far left side, or any of them really, and shoot him while the other bot is behind you. It will literally bounce behind you and heal him. It will legitimately bounce behind you and heal the person behind you. That is what happens in the game. So you're saying, oh, I can't stand behind my tanks. Of course, you're not always going to be right on top of them, but like, I can't stand behind my tanks because no one behind me will get healed. You're specifically a support that can, not even Susan can do that. Not even Sue can do that. You can be closer than Sue can because you don't have to be like Sue where she's trying to get all of them in one fell swoop. You want to get the tanks. You want to get them. A lot of times you're going to be shooting and your stuff does not pierce. So you want to be able to hit who you're trying to hit. So if you're farther up, you can basically hit them and it's going to heal behind you too. It's going to heal the person behind you. And if your support needs help, turn around and heal them. You're gonna know because you're not gonna be right on top of your tank. You're gonna be near your support, but of course in front of them. Your support will be back there doing their thing, and you'll be in front of them. But yeah, I mean, as someone in the supports, I mean, if you know the game, right? Someone of the supports has to be in the front. Like someone has to be in the front at some point in time. Like one of them has to be healing the other, and usually the one that in this situation who is bad at self-heal will be in the front. So for example, let's say you have like a Luna and a Jeff. The Jeff needs to be in the back because of how his heals work. Okay. And Luna wants to be in the front. Okay. Well, how about Invis and Cloak and Dagger? Well, Invis wants to be in the front. Okay. What about Cloak and Dagger and Gambit? Gambit wants to be in the front. The reason why Gambit does is because he wants to get close up so he can do his damage, right? Of course, he doesn't want to be that close, but that's for everyone. Again, I don't know why I keep saying that. It's for everyone. You don't want to be that close. But Gambit wants to be in front, mostly because Cloak and Dagger can heal herself pretty well, and she has her heals that sort of, she can heal Gambit up pretty quickly, but Gambit could also stand in that specific situation. Really, Gambit could stand behind if he really wanted to, because he also can heal himself, but he does have to use like a card to heal himself, or he does have to like slam the ground, which is using a cooldown for no reason. While Cloak and it is very difficult though, because also Cloak and Dagger has to put down her little dome on the ground, so that one in particular is a little bit tricky. But I still believe that Cloak and Dagger should be standing in the back, mostly because I want her to be able to sort of, let Gambit get the most damage off really close. But either way, I think that's just my personal opinion. I think honestly, in that situation, both of them could actually be in the back. It really doesn't matter too much in that one in particular, but that's just my preference. Either way, certain people want to be in the front, right? If you have Loki and a Luna, right? Loki wants to be in the back end of Loki and Luna, right? Because Loki, he doesn't want to be in the front of everything. He can't really brawl that well. Gambit can brawl. I'll tell you that. Gambit, yeah, you know that for sure. Gambit can definitely brawl. Can Jeff brawl? I mean, Jeff can sometimes brawl. Can Rocket brawl? No, he needs to be back in the back. Back in the back. That boy cannot brawl. But this character, White Fox, is a brawler. She has a melee form, a full-on melee form, like Deadpool, right? Deadpool is a melee form. It's the same thing. Deadpool doesn't want to play always in the back too, but because of how his stuff works, he doesn't want to play a little bit farther back. But and that's mostly because of his Lord icon thing. But even then, he's not playing like over there all the way at spawn like Rocket can. But White Fox is sitting there and she's like, okay, I am going to be right on top of my tanks and go crazy, which is, again, that's always what you want to do. Sit right on top of your tanks. Again, when I say right on top of your tanks, I don't mean literally right on top of them, but like close enough. And you just need to go crazy. Now, we talked about the heals. The heals bounce back, so you don't have to worry about that. We talked about not worrying about the shooty special surge. You want to hit the enemies with that mostly anyway. You're not worried about it, all right? Now, the main thing I want to mention is, because like you would think, oh, the special surge, you got to put it behind. You got to stand behind everybody to get it, right? But again, you don't always want to be like, let's hit everybody with it. You don't need to. And it's going to be situational, especially. But you want to be able to get in Fox form. That's the main thing. You don't even care about doing special surge all the time. You want to make sure you can get either 3 stacks, 2 stacks works too, 1 if you need it, but as many as you can, go into Fox form, and you heal a lot. Like, I mean, not a bunch. You don't heal around you a lot, but you heal yourself a lot, which is why I feel like she's more of a DPS. Because she heals herself, and honestly more of a Vanguard, because she heals herself like crazy. She turns into a big tank. as well, by the way, with her ultimate. She literally gets 900 health. So when you're going in, right, she has a lot of get out tools and protection tools for mitigation, right, her shields. So when you're so close, you want to be able to use your fox form because you can burst down targets super quick. There's some combos. I don't know if you want me to go into them. Maybe I'll do like another video about that if you really want it. But there are specific like combos you can do to like burst down targets. There are specific combos that you can basically kill a squishy in like maybe like 3 seconds or less. If you're really fast, you can do it like super quick. But yeah, if you really look at that, you're gonna realize that like you look at her kit, you're like, oh, yeah, seems no reason to go into that mode. But it's consistent heals and it's really fast burst damage. So you want to get into that mode as much as possible and just go crazy, especially because they can't really do much to you. Like your uptime is crazy because it's hard to kill you in that mode unless it's Strange. Again, if there is ever a Dr. Strange existing in the lobby, please just start crying because maybe he'll let you live. Because that boy will burst you down in a split second. I literally, the amount of times I get bursted down by Strange, he just uses his dark magic and he just kills me immediately. It happens too many times because, like I said, you're playing like a tank, which you're also healing. Because remember, you're playing like a tank, but it's not like you're slacking on healing. You're still getting a bunch of healing, but you're just playing closer. So yeah, and then like I said, you need to play more feral. So seeing that she's a fox, you need to play feral. So get up in their face, man. Like chase that kill. Get up in their face. You do decent damage with your main attack, and it's hard to miss it. It's like it's better than Cloak and Daggers for damage, definitely. But also, when you're in your feral mode, go crazy, definitely. When you're in your feral mode, go insane. And also, especially when you're trying to do damage, the Spectral Surge added with your main attack is a lot of burst damage. It's a lot. So she does a lot of burst damage is my main thing. She has consistent damage sometimes, you know, like if you're really trying to do that, but you're not really worried about that. Her main thing is her burst damage. She has a lot of burst damage, especially with her fox form. So yeah, that's kind of the main things I want to talk about. You'll see even in some of the gameplay in the background, kind of examples of what I've been talking about. And you'll see exactly what I mean, because that's the way you got to do it. You got to play her like a sort of hybrid of everything, sort of like Deadpool if he was actually every role at once. If he was at every role at once, it would be like this. She's most similar to Deadpool in my opinion, actually. Genuinely, I think she is. I think in some ways she's a worse Deadpool, in some ways she's better. I think she does more damage than Deadpool. Like I said, her main attack, if you actually hit them with your main attack, that's a quick 40 damage, and she attacks really fast. So it's already really good, and her healing just base is pretty all right too, but she just doesn't have any extra tools. Her extra tools are not like her extra abilities, right? They are not for extra healing. If they wanted her to be a healer, like mostly a healer, they would give her another ability for healing, but they didn't. They gave her an ability for damage and combo potential. She has a knock up. She has a dash she has a jump over dash that goes into another dash. You can reposition and put them in the air if you want for a free kill on some targets. Like, she's a combo character. Like that's it. She's like a magic, a support magic. I mean, come on, bro. This ain't no support, man. This ain't no support. And that's a funny thing. She ain't no support, but she can still heal like a support. You can play her on double support, and if you play her right, you can actually make it work. You just have to be like very proactive. Like, you have to be very proactive. You have to always go into your 15-second cooldown, by the way. They definitely got to change that. I don't know why the Fox form is a 15-second cooldown. I think it should literally have no cooldown. There's no reason it should have a cooldown. That's just a small little anecdote. Like, that's why I believe. It should not have a cooldown. It should genuinely be it should take your spirit stuff and not have a cooldown. It should just take 3. I think is probably the best thing. Just make it take 3, so you have to build it up over time, right? And then let it last for the 9-second duration, or better yet, make it last for either 8 or 7 seconds, maybe even 7 seconds for the 3 things that you're building up. Just don't have it have a 15-second cooldown, and then make it so that you can get it back if you're really good. I don't know if you actually can, but you can get it back if you're really good in less than 15 seconds, which I think right now, if you actually like do a lot of healing at once, you actually can. And a lot of damage too. I think you can actually get it back up sooner, so that's good. But yeah, that's the main things I want to talk about. I didn't want to go too much in depth. I just want to talk about the main things about how people are playing the character, I believe, wrong. You don't treat the character like a support. You treat it like a sort of like DPS tank hybrid, more like a tank. Think about an off tank, right? Like Thor. That's how you want to treat her, right? Or like a Deadpool tank, right? She's like kind of like an off tank, or like a brawler, sort of like Wolverine in a way. That's a good comparison as well, where she's here to get kills and heal at the same time. as well as tanking damage. She does it all. She does all in one type character. She does a lot of things. So it's not like a thing where I just say, oh, she's just a healer, or oh, she's just a DPS actually, or people will say, oh, she's just a tank or something. No, she's just all of them at once. You just need to focus on less on heal body, less on heal body the whole time, and more on doing some damage, because she has a whole kit that has damage in it. Why would she have the ability to go into a fox form and start slashing in close range if she was not a brawler meant to do damage? It just doesn't make sense. Granted, it doesn't do too much damage. It has a decent amount of healing though, and her stats are just low in general. She's weak. Let's get that understood. She's definitely weak. Like she definitely needs buffs. But if you actually want to play, even in her weak form, her the best way, you have to realize that just heal bodying will literally get you killed and your whole team killed, because she doesn't heal enough. She needs to do damage, right? And once she's doing damage, then you'll see those big damage numbers. My biggest numbers, like I'll get as much healing as like an invisible woman. Even when on paper, it shouldn't be that way. Mostly because she stays alive. She stays alive. She uses her shield to get out. She goes crazy. Like she does a lot of things. She goes in there, and when you're playing her right, you're like going crazy with her. You're not just sitting back and heal bodying. You're doing a lot of healing at once, right? And it all adds up. It all adds up because you are essentially doing more than like just a heal bot. You're doing damage too. So you'll see that sometimes your healing might be a little less than someone else too. Like someone who's like doing really good on your team, but your damage is going to be high. And you're like, oh, but why is it like that? Why is your damage so high? I honestly don't even know. On paper, she should not be doing that much damage. Her main attacks do like almost nothing. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just a line on the damage numbers. But for some odd reason, whenever I'm playing, I have such high damage numbers. I believe it's probably because her main attack, it actually does pretty decent damage, but I think the main thing is just the uptime. You're always, especially if you're always attacking, you're always doing damage, right? And you're always healing. It's just like you're doing a lot of things. And when you go into that form, like I think it's especially when you go into the Pharaoh form, you're healing around you a lot, and you're just stacking up those stats. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Maybe I'm just good or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking like I'm not good or something. Like, oh, why am I doing so much damage? Maybe because I'm doing damage. You know, what else you want to say? But that's all I have to say. Interesting rant video. That's it. And yeah, I'm gonna go now. Yeah. Oh, like the video, I guess, or something. Whatever you want to do. Ko-fi exists in the description and stuff. You know, go ahead and check that out. And yeah, go have fun with that. And watch the video on the screen. I bet you it's pretty good. Thank you.